Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant and fellow entrepreneur. And in this productivity guide, you're going to learn 3 simple steps to the ideal day exercise. Most importantly, how to take all of those pie in the sky visions to right now and actually beginning to implement and live out your ideal day starting today or maybe tomorrow or next week, whenever you decide, right? But we're going to go pie in the sky all the way down to concrete. Let's start getting things done right now. So make sure you check out that timestamp table of contents in the description along with some other helpful productivity links. So the very first step is going to be experience. And this is where you want to essentially journal out what your ideal day would look like. Now, what does this mean practically? It just means you're going to take a pen and paper and you're just going to start writing out what you would do during an ideal day. You don't really have to worry about the details or being overly descriptive. Just start writing out what you think you're going to be doing on your ideal day. And if you hit any roadblocks, like let's say you're writing feverishly and then it gets to the middle of the day and you're like, I don't really know what I would do after lunch. Well, then just skip 3 or 4 lines and keep writing. What's very important with this first round is you essentially just get everything in your head onto a piece of paper, even if it doesn't make sense, even if you cross things out 5 or 6 different times. And the second thing is to focus on how you spend your time, because life after all is just a series of experiences. So we want to chronicle what our ideal day and series of experiences would be on that day. So focus on experiences and what you're physically doing, not what you own, not any stuff. Like if you say I get into my $200,000 Maserati, okay, fine. It's okay to describe what your car is, but this isn't anything like a vision board where you're just putting a bunch of stuff that you think would be really cool to own. This is 100% focused on you, your experience, and how you want to spend your time. Now, another way to think about this exercise, if I just did a really terrible job of explaining what the heck you're actually supposed to do, is think about this. When your head hits the pillow at the end of the day, what would have had to happen over the previous 16 hours, assuming you're getting your full 8 hours of sleep, the previous 16 hours for you to actually be satisfied, for your brain not to continue to run a mile a minute. There's no anxiety, there's no worry about whatever stuff is on your mind right now. All of that is gone and you just lay in bed and you're completely satisfied with the day and you could fall right asleep because your mind's not racing. There's nothing else to do on your to-do list. You literally were able to do everything. So that's another way to think of this exercise. So that's the very first step. It's going to be the hardest one. I highly recommend just getting pen and paper and just go to town. It's going to be an hour or 2. It might take several different sessions for you to get everything that's kind of mulling around inside of your head onto paper. But that's the most important kind of deliverable of this exercise, is getting everything that's in here, as crazy as it is, onto this piece of paper. Like if you're on a private jet every other day, well then hey, you're on a private jet every other day. Just write it down. No idea or experience or activity is off limits when it comes to your ideal day. And so once you've done this, then you're ready for step number 2, which is action. And with action, you're going to look at all of those notes that you took and then begin to, hour by hour or in half-hour increments, decide what your ideal day would look like if you had to actually schedule it out. Now, obviously, you're going to have some things that, well, you'd probably only do once a week, or you'd only do twice a week, or once a month, or once a year, right? So go ahead and keep those on a separate list. You're just going through your average day. So in the 16 hours that you have, remember that you do need to sleep. So don't fall into the trap of trying to say, oh, well, you know, I optimize my health this way, so I can only only have to sleep 6 hours. Like, unless you've gone to the doctor or something and they've said, oh yeah, you can live on 6 hours of sleep. Please be realistic here with your actions. 16 hours, hour by hour, or 30-minute increments. What does your day actually look like? What are you actually doing? And if you find during this exercise you start to get confused and frustrated and maybe a little angry, I know I did, by realizing that, oh my gosh, I have all these things that I want to do, but they don't physically fit in a 24, 16-hour period. Like, what do I do? And so this is part of what makes the ideal day so powerful. Not only does it force us to actually put pen to paper what our wildest dreams are with the first step experience, it actually starts forcing us to see, does what we want out of life, is it actually physically possible with the amount of time that we have? And often, unfortunately, the answer is going to be no, right? There are going to have to be some cuts. But what's most important here is that you are consciously making the decision what is more important. You're gonna look at activity A, you're gonna look at activity B, and you're gonna realize that I can't do this every day, every month, every week for whatever reason, because it's gonna conflict with something else that you want to do every day, every week, or every month. And so when you make these conscious decisions, all of a sudden you give your conscious and subconscious mind permission to let that go. And you're going to be finding that a lot of subconscious weight is going to be lifted from the recesses of your mind, because you're no longer going to feel like you're missing out on something. Because here you're actively deciding, you know what? Activity A is more important than activity B. I'm just gonna say that's not part of my ideal day. Now, that doesn't mean you'll never be able to do it. That doesn't mean you won't be able to do it someday, but it does mean that you're no longer going to feel like you're missing something or life is somehow lacking because you don't have this particular activity. Well, you're actively deciding that this activity is not important as another one. So hopefully that makes sense. I didn't want to use a specific example because I wanted to keep it open-ended for this particular step. I'll go through some examples in the next step number 3 here. But for step number 2, you're going to have a complete agenda of what you would actually do during your ideal day. Now, again, it's very important to note that we're not talking about stuff at all. Material stuff is only on this list or in your experiences to support how you want to spend your time, not the other way around, right? So make sure that you're always focused on how you're spending your time. And when you look at that agenda, when you're done, it should represent a day that you would be completely satisfied with going to bed at the end of the day. Now, step number 3 is going to be another hard part, right? So we started off hard, we went easy, and now it's going to be hard again. So you want to look at that ideal day and then choose one activity that you start doing now. As in, well, probably not today because I have no idea what time you're watching this video, but within the next couple of days. Like, start doing it right now. So to help illustrate this, I'm going to share something that I did the very first time I went through this exercise. Now, of course, my days are still far off from what my ideal day exercise looks like, but I'm working to get them closer and closer each and every quarter and month. So as a personal example, when I first did this exercise, one of the things that was part of my ideal day was going for a run or a swim every single day. Well, more running than swimming because my knees are really messed up from track and field, but I digress. I really like running and I really like swimming. Just the feeling of just flying down the track or flying through the laps. I know it's kind of weird. Most people are like, why would you just swim back and forth or run in circles? I find it to be a lot of fun and freeing. So whatever is on your list, just choose one activity. So for me, it was swimming. And I looked at my current life and I looked at my ideal day and I realized that there was no physically enough time for me to drive to the gym every single day so I could end the day with a swim. So what did we do? 6 months later, when our lease was up, we went ahead and moved to a place that actually had a pool so that I could go downstairs and I could get that swim in. Now, I had to give up a tremendous amount in order to do that because the place was in downtown. It was, I think, $500 or $600 more expensive a month, but it gave me that one thing that was really important to me, which was being able to swim at the end of my workday. Now, did I have to give up eating out, getting a nicer car, and a lot of other things because I was paying so much more for rent? Absolutely. But I was okay with it because I made a conscious decision that this was the element of my ideal day that I really wanted to enjoy now and that I actually could enjoy now. So hopefully that example makes sense and it doesn't sound too silly, but I just wanted to share that with you because there are a lot of trade-offs, but when you consciously make these trade-offs, you'll be able to start adding elements of your ideal day into your current life now, which is incredibly powerful and gives you a tremendous amount of momentum moving forward. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. You'll definitely want to go through this exercise multiple times, maybe at least once a year, so that you're always recalibrating what you're doing and you're staying focused on how you ultimately want to spend your most precious asset, which is your time. Material things just support how you spend your time. They should not drive how you spend your time. So thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.